all of that, I thought I owed it to him, for not being sober, for not speaking at his funeral, when he really had no other man to speak at his funeral, for not being there during his last years in high school, to maybe help him make better decisions, or maybe not for him to listen to the wrong decisions. I blame myself. So here I am not being able to do anything again because of my choices. I felt like a bum. And 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 so I just stayed in it. And then I came back home, and what was told to me was, don't go to look for work, focus on your mental health. And everyone's trying to steer me into these same people and trying to get me to sign documents. And I'm like, I'm not signing documents, because when I go for an evaluation with you folks, there's all kinds of questions being asked that have never pertained to a mental health evaluation as far back as I can remember when I started doing them. And the attitude that you're possessing, why I'm deliberately giving you attitude to see how you react, is not professional at all. And so you just proved my point. And so I want nothing else to do with you. Every day I get 2 to 3 in my inbox. Sometimes I don't even know how they got my email, because I didn't give it to them. So it has to be my mother or somebody. And I get these emails wanting me to sign papers to receive more benefits. And I can't block them. I've tried to report the email, so they stop sending them, but they keep sending them. And one of the documents they originally sent me that I sent back that said I did not sign this, I put a bunch of stuff on there, because it was a backdated document, filled out empty, just with my name and the date, but it was backdated a month prior, and they wanted me to sign it so they could fill in the blanks. Well, I'm not filling out stuff for me to be clinically insane so you can get power over me and make whatever decisions you want to make. And I think this is what I'm up against. And so I won't go get help. And things on my phone account, somebody had ordered something under my name, so that I was like, ha ha ha, I finally found something. People are into my crap, and I don't know if they are. So but there's all the signs there that someone has been in my personal stuff. And all my insurance, all my IDs, my social security, everything was left to the mother of my son and my mother. And when you get home and your gut feeling is telling you that somebody's been in your stuff while you were in prison, it's all this is telling you this. And you started noticing a lot of different things that I've had piles of notebooks and notes on. And some of them are probably, if I hit one on the head, and I was right about something, I probably went off somewhere in right field on that subject. And, but nonetheless, some of these things I probably was right about. And, what do you do? The last couple jobs that I applied for, they were weird. Out of state, too quick of an interview, no background check, nothing, just thrown right in there. It just didn't seem right. And so I gave up on that. I started to take the easy road. Let me just file unemployment. Tell them I had COVID issues and I'm watching my children. And let's hope I get that. And then if I get that, then I'll make a move for the right reason, or to do the right thing. But I've been under this impression this whole time that people were planted in my life, and that people have motives. So, without that, if you take away drugs and you take away people maybe prying into my life, I don't think I'm clinically insane, even close to that, or even close to that. Not at all. And I'm sure if you sat me down with a doctor that weren't connected, they would tell you the same thing. Would they tell you these thoughts and stuff aren't normal if they were just coming out of right field? Yeah, they would tell you they weren't normal. I would tell you they weren't normal. That's what I keep telling my loved ones. If this was created out of here, solely out of here, entirely out of just this, I could agree with you. Let's go get help. Right? But I don't feel they are. So, the truth is I've stayed in this. Even back when I was homeless a couple months before prison, I told myself I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to wait to see who comes and gets me. I'm going to stay out here. I'm going to throw a big pity party, and I'm going to see who comes and gets me. And nobody came and got me. And I was homeless out of spite. Did I have to be homeless? No, I didn't. There's enough resources for me to have not been homeless, and that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm staying in this until the bitter end. And, if none of this was fabricated, then the bitter end is jails, institutions, or death for me. And I would be regretting every one of my decisions along the way. But, if this was enticed or fabricated, do I have every right to stay in my mess out of spite? I don't know. One would say it's selfish of me to do this. My kids need me, and I should be doing the right thing anyway. But things have been hidden from me, and I'm not too much hiding anything from you guys. I think when I get in the car and I go get drugs. I think everybody knows that. Do I tell you to your face? No, because I'm in fear of maybe being kicked out on the street or anything, And you say, let him hit rock bottom, let him hit rock bottom. I've hit rock bottom, I think the only thing that drug does for me now, the only thing, is keeps me up at night, allows me not to eat, and when I wake up angry, it relieves that, because I'm really frustrated. I'm waking up in this, and so that takes it away. Am I high? No, I don't think so. High in the sense that it's got me alert and awake, yeah, but not feeling good about myself, like when we used to use way back when it was recreational, and we did it for fun with our friends on the weekends. No, very, very, very far removed from that. So the truth is I do want better, but I feel so far gone, so far from me, Ryan, and what I had worked towards, and had that balance of the physical exercising that replaced that, and my relationship with God, and having that peace. Exercise, the thought behind my program, and I don't know if any of you have really heard this, but I'll go ahead and say it, and I hope nobody steals it, okay? Years ago, I get out of rehab for the first time, and I really saw, like, the effort and the heart and the caring that went into a person that had walked the walk and helped others with their walk, and the reward that came out of it. And so I had a bunch of ideas for businesses or whatever, product to sell, and none of them things were hard to put put in motion. But I said, what's something I can do to help people? And because they really sparked that in me, and to want to direct my uh, entrepreneurship in the direction of what can I do to help people. And and I thought of all the places that we have to go, and we're arrested and we're mandated to go to a drug and alcohol class, or if you get arrested for a DUI, or you're not that hardened criminal, but you've had run-ins with the law because of your addiction, you have to go to classes, and they're usually about 12 weeks upwards to 52 weeks, but the average is about 6 months. And so you go to these classes, and it starts off intensive outpatient treatment, IOP. Then you might move to a outpatient treatment, which is less intensive. And then they have relapse prevention classes, and then they have aftercare classes. And usually they just take your money on a sliding scale, and you come to a few hours a week, a couple days a week classes, and anybody can fake it till you make it in an hour class, and that's kind of your practice ground. But then you come out for the next 23 hours of the day, and that's game time. That's where you practice what you learned. And I've been to a lot of those places, and even though their hearts are in the right place for the most part, the counselors and stuff, the legal, the correctional system, judicial system, whatever, they have to do it kind of backwards because of money, so instead of paying for you to go inpatient, which is probably the first step, they have to do it in reverse, and they can only afford the outpatient, so they have to hope and cross their fingers that they can have an impact on people, but they're starting off, kind of backwards. And they don't want to send a bunch of people to prison because they don't want prisons filled with minor offenses, because he's just sick because he's got a disease of addiction and a lot of mental health issues maybe, but those are all just symptoms of the results of his addiction. If he could beat this, he could work on that. And so they have to start off backwards. And so I thought, how could you treat the addict with more than just classes? And instead of medicines like methadone, Suboxone, and all these things, how could you treat an addict? What gets them high other than drugs? Well, exercise does. When you go to the doctor for anything, almost anything, they're going to tell you to eat well, sleep well, and exercise. And what does exercise do for you? It releases dopamine, endorphins, serotonin, all these things that create your brain's natural high that you're killing with drugs anyway. And if anybody has ever worked out before, they know the feeling after they're done working out. They might be exhausted, but they feel good about themselves. And they're high, literally, physically, biologically, they're high. And, so this random girl on the internet, I don't even know who she is to this day. I asked her what I should call it, what I should name it. I was going to put substance abuse and alcohol treatment classes and exercise classes under one roof. But not just, but it be a program, all working together, all dually treating the addict with exercise and group therapy. And I asked her what I should call it. And she said rehab. I said, rehab? Call them all rehabs. But then I looked up like the acronym for rehab, and it said regenerating, energetic, healthy, active behavior. Regenerating, energetic, healthy, active behavior. just fit perfectly. So that was my mission from there on out. And I sure in the hell ain't been there yet. But I tell you, in prison this time around, I tested it on guys since day one, since county jail. And it works. There's lots of places that have a rec hour or a rec room for their patients to work out in, but they're not centering their program around this. And that's what I wanted to do. And so that's what I was doing in prison. Is I was either telling men about it or I didn't tell men about it. But one of the most common mistakes I saw in men in prison was that they focused more on their physical fitness rather than their spiritual fitness, which we all know what the Bible says about that. Physical fitness means very little in comparison to spiritual fitness. So, yeah, the Bible has it pegged, and I also proved it, in prison when I was evaluating these guys that would focus more on the physical than the spiritual. And the same thing happened to me when I got home, even though I wasn't really even working out either. But I started to focus more on the world than my spirit. And that's what happened, along with wanting to please others. But that had been my goal for a long, long time, and that's why I kept getting my feet in different doors to try and learn how the legalities and what you needed to open up something like that, what was needed, and also kind of sharpen my pencil too, my craft in helping people. And yeah, so that's what all this has been for. And so when I got home, that's why I created the Facebook page, KB Rehab Live Free. Rehab stood for Regenerating Energetic Healthy Active Behavior. Live Free was because you could finally be free from all things. You could live free and free of prescription drugs to help you wean yourself off of drugs. Live free from humans. It says no human power could have relieved us from our alcoholism, which is true. It's God who has that power. And it says, may we find him now. It also says, may you come to scoff. May you come to say, oh, I don't need that. May you remain to pray. Because the people of AA early on, they knew the importance of the relationship with God. Because when it's 2 a.m. in the morning, when there's not a meeting going on, when your sponsor's not going to answer because he has to go to work in the morning, and what the hell is your crazy doing calling me at 3:30 in the morning to talk about your desire to get high or drunk? What are you doing? Well, when you can't do none of those things, you better have a relationship with God and come to your knees and pray. And that's been pulled out of AA a lot, is God. Satan's doing a very good job of pulling God out of things. And so, that was my idea, and that's what I was working towards. And I feel now, if anything to do with a career for me, it has to be something I love. It can't be something I'm good at. There's a lot of things I'm good at, but it has to be something I love and care about. And so why such a long time, and why am I still in my mess? I don't have an answer for that. Other than I'm just waiting to see what this is all about and the truth. And I don't know if I'll ever, I know there are some people out there that will take the truth to the grave with them. And yeah. So, I had a conversation with my father tonight, and he just told me take the car in the driveway and go get a job and become independent. And my response to him was, Dad, that's not my car. Like I have just taken it recently and drove to the mother of my daughter's house and checked on them because I thought they weren't safe. And and so yeah, I've just ran off with the car. But I also get scolded when I get back. And I also uh, when I look for a job nowadays, it's been weeks. They don't feel right. Um, you know, they don't feel right. Uh, I've started with nothing a lot in my life, and and I get up in life very quickly. It's also not the best thing for me. You know, working a dead end job where I'm not happy, where there's people that might not know themselves as spiritually as I do, or they're in active addiction. It's not safe for me. Can I avoid it? Yeah, I did it in prison. Um, I did it times before in my life. But when something doesn't sit well in your gut, are you supposed to say yes to it just because others tell you to? No. But that is a way for me out of this. To be truthful, would be to shut up for a second, get going, get out there, and be independent and get away from what I think is bad. Uh, but then a part of me wants to stay in it to discover. So, what am I to do? Um, I don't know. Now I'm just going places with my head. But, I'd like to listen to my father. Uh, he's always had good advice. But nobody is as deep into this as I am. So, when you don't get responses back for so long, you give up. So, and I've wanted to give up a whole lot. I still do. Do I want to go bow down to people they've put in my life for therapy and stuff? Not the place that they signed me up for. No. Nope. I'm not signing up for any more benefits when they've turned in appointments and things like that we didn't even have. And so, no, I can't go talk to those people. I need a new set of people, in my eyes, because I don't want to go get help from those people. I just don't. It didn't feel right, And I know like what people might be saying, like he doesn't want to accept help or anything. You might be right, but you know, what am I supposed to think? I wrote I wrote an email to the woman that kept sending me the things to sign up, to sign for extra benefits. I wrote her an email. I said, "Who's it really benefiting? Um, me getting extra benefits. Who is it really benefiting? Is it benefiting you guys more than it's benefiting me, or is it going to benefit me more than it is you guys? And it really should be reciprocating. It should be almost even, but I don't feel that way. I feel like if I sign up for more benefits, it's going to give them uh, more categories that they can bill in that I'm not even receiving anyway. So, do I want money from me going to get help? No, that's not what I'm saying. But it's I'm not even using it now. So why do I need to sign up for more benefits? You know, I discovered this power account with the state insurance here that I've never ever even heard of, that I believe that the insurance companies are tapping into, or the people that are billing, they're tapping into it, using this money, going overboard with it, and patients aren't even receiving the true benefits from it. And one of the things is, quit smoking. And quit smoking. One of the things is that you have to make a monthly contribution to your power account, which I've never made. Yet my ex, the mother of my son, along the way here, she's asked for $8-9 extra a week on daycare when she gets a voucher to pay for daycare through state, and never do they not pay for it or make you pay just $8 or $9 extra because the daycare has raised their fund, or raised their charge for your kid coming there. So she hits me with this bold-faced lie and fictitious receipts that she has to pay $8 or $9 extra a week because her kinder care, where my kid was going, where she also had a friend that worked for, and she was creating these fake invoices for me to see, and I knew they were fake. She's telling me that they raised the cost of daycare $8 to $9 weekly, and that I needed to pay for it. So months back, I did give her a $100 bill for the back pay that she said she was behind. I just gave it to her to say, here, I'll give it to you anyways. Even though I know you're lying, I'll give it to you. And I've lied about things. I just got convicted on that one. But yeah. And so I read further on the power account thing with my insurance, and if I sign up for the extra benefits, it'll activate my power account again, which I think is already active. And so I'm putting two and two together. Like, why do you need this? Am I paying for my own power account through you if I give you this money that you say is for my son's daycare, which it's not. So I noticed that. Then she comes to me with a handful of patches. Well, they give you patches if you're in the program to help you quit smoking. Why does she have patches? Have they been in my things the whole time? Has been my thoughts on things. The answer is yes. I believe it wholeheartedly. And yeah, so who can I trust in my life? I don't know. This is the truth. This is what I believe, is that family, the mother of my son, I don't know what percentage is involved, but they have been trying to push me into being clinically insane so they could have power over me, and they could get money over me because of me. That's one scenario that I think is true. Another one is that, my mom, me, the mother of my daughter, and my father, all of their personal stuff has been gotten into, and things have been issued on their behalf and into the wrong people's hands. I also believe that my unemployment was blocked, maybe stolen, I don't know. I believe that my nephew's death was, I hope he's still alive, but if he's dead, that was premeditated. He was killed for a reason. It wasn't random. Because the kid Zachary starts with a P. Parufus. I don't even know how you say his name. I don't even know if he exists. He just randomly shoots my nephew on the strip in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, on or about October 16th or 17th. He just happens, he happens to bond out in less than 24 hours, and the judge gives him permission to skip state. Doesn't sound right to me, man. Um, you know, it just doesn't sound right. And then you give the whole history of my ex working in the life insurance industry, and her working for the census, and her now working supposedly for the post office delivering packages. And then you have my mom, who is very skilled in the medical billing department, where she's a good schedule maker. Now she's at home scheduling stuff all across the United States in the medical field, dealing with nurses who have in-home visits with mostly men. And none of it sits well with me. And so all those fields all those things match up to what I'm thinking. And the blame that has been pushed towards me, and things that have been given to me that could very well be not good. The car that was bought for me. You know, when I look up that girl's name, she's got an obituary. She's dead. And I'm like, well, what freaking car did I inherit? You know? And you know, who are the people I'm really dealing with? Because none of this seems right. You know, you're calling me with all this money that you've spent, but yet you need money. You know, all the time that was happening. And you know, there's so many lies I've caught him in, and it just doesn't sit well with me. And I'm going off subject, but those are the things that's been blocking me. Is what has happened? Who's to blame? Was this an accident, or was it plotted? My nephew had a $60,000 to $65,000 GoFund account less than 48 hours after his death. There was already that much money accumulated. And people were donating I never heard of before. So, I don't know. You know? And then it appeared that things were being ran through me. And through maybe my phone number, my emails, possibly fake medical accounts online, like me being, I found myself as a tax guy in another state, as a doctor, as a behavioral health, working in that field. I found profiles of my name, different age, different pictures, of course, but I found that stuff in other states. And if you look up my ex, if you look up the mother of my daughter, she's a real nurse with a license. Yet there's my other ex, the mother of my son. There's what appears fake accounts under my last name and her first name spelled differently. There's accounts of that with the same degrees and biology degrees. And then there's also the pharmacy side to it, where this woman says she's been in pharmacy classes but never graduated, never earned a degree, yet there's paperwork on file of her and a group petitioning the state to get pharmacy license approved or whatnot. And it's not no major pharmacy, it's a mom and pop's place. And so all those things tie together with what I've thought all along. So I don't know what's going on. 3 scenarios. 1, everybody's working for the good of Ryan and trying to get him back on track because he had something good going that helped people. That's a scenario. 2, that all the bad stuff I thought is right, and then I'm not going to stop until the truth comes out. people are endangered if all that stuff's right. If my nephew's death was not an accident, then everything's right that I've thought. Okay? And there's really not a three. The third scenario would be what? That everybody's working for the good of Ryan, but all this stuff is still true? Or that Ryan is responsible for all this? No. First of all, Ryan isn't even competent enough on a computer to hack anything or anything like that. I don't know anything about that. The things I know or discovered has been hours and hours and hours of research trying to tie things together. I don't know, guys. Good night.